If you look at the front lines of healthcare and what's happened in my career over the last 40-odd years, there's been enormous change in the frontline care. Take one example, take care for stroke. If you look at some of the research that's been sponsored through the University of Calgary on stroke, you'll find that there's world-leading research and world-leading and practice-changing approaches to stroke care. And that's happened here. So front lines have had a lot of change. When I was a medical student, there was a book published by the federal government, by a Federal Minister of Health. It was called New Perspectives on the Health of Canadians, 1975. 1975, it talked about things like there's too much acute care. There's going to be a senior tsunami. We can't afford not to invest in things like wellness, and so on. 1975. So if you look at the priorities that were set by the federal government in 1975, you have to ask yourself, why were these things not carried out? That New Perspectives on the Health of Canadians book was actually used worldwide. It became the basis of the Ottawa Charter. It was picked up by health systems around the world. Canadians thought of these ideas. They didn't enact these ideas. So you have to ask yourself, why is the structure of healthcare not changing? Or the processes of healthcare not changing at the same rate that things are changing at the front line? And it's a pretty fundamental question. I think we, as voters, we all have to look ourselves in the mirror. We've been, as boomers, very satisfied with the status quo. We haven't changed this healthcare system. Providers, public, stakeholders, everyone wants the same thing, stability. We want Canada's healthcare system to improve. We don't want to have this chart which says Canada's healthcare system is declining. When I was a medical student in 1975, we were probably number 1 or 2 in the world. We are no longer number 1 or 2. This shows it. We have to do something more risk-accepting in healthcare to produce the changes that are required. And the roadmap is out there. We've had, I have no idea how many reports, Romano, Mazankowski, Kirby, you name it. We know what needs to happen. We just don't act. And that inability to act is what is causing this gradual decline into mediocrity in this healthcare system.